Greetings, it's the New York Thrifter, and today I'm going to be doing a video all about how I process jeans to resell online. A few videos ago, I mentioned how much I really love reselling jeans, and I got a lot of questions in the comments about, well, how do you photograph them? Why do you like them so much? So I thought I would do a whole video on what I do. Please feel free to take what you can from this. If you do it another way, that's totally fine. But the first thing that I think is really important is sourcing really good jeans for resale. Know your brands, know your sizes, know your styles. And to do that, it's really all about going to the platform that you resell on, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, wherever you resell, and doing some search on what jeans are selling and how much they're selling for. I personally love to sell Madewell, Hudson, AG jeans. I did a whole video on this about 2 years ago, and it's still pretty accurate. So I'm going to link that down below so you can see some of my picks for sourcing. After I've purchased them, I wash all of my jeans. I wash everything that I buy for resales. After the jeans are prepped, it's then time to photograph them, and I prefer a flat lay photography. And so I use a tabletop that I get from IKEA. It's a Linneman $30 tabletop, which is about 60 inches by 30 inches. And I find that it works really, really well. It gives me a nice, flat, beautiful surface to photograph on, and it's rather inexpensive. So if you do have the opportunity to get one of these tabletops, I highly recommend it. So here I am putting down a pair of jeans on that tabletop. I have lit from above. I have daylight light bulbs in my overhead lights in my basement. They give a really true color when I'm photographing. So you can see here, I take a full picture of the jean in the photo mode. I go into square mode. I take a picture of the top, a close-up picture of the tag, also in square mode. Then I flip the jeans over, straighten them out the best that I can. Back to doing some more photos in square mode. I take a close-up of the back. I go back to photo mode and I take a complete picture of the back of the jeans. I go back to square mode and I take a picture of the hems, because oftentimes on jeans, the hems are something that you're going to get questions from because they can get worn out the fastest. So those are the pictures that I take. Here you see the full size front, a close-up of the front, a close-up of the tag, a close-up of the back side, a full view of the back of the jeans, and then one more of the hems. So those are all the pictures that I personally take. I want to stop for a minute and discuss cover photos. The cover photo is going to be your most important pick because it's the one that is going to draw your buyer's attention. So for me, I like to do a full view of the front of the jeans. Now this requires a little bit of editing on my part. As you saw when I took the photo, I took it in photo mode, which is a rectangle, whereas a lot of platforms require a square orientation. And so I do go through a little bit of editing on my photos. As you can see here, I did make it square. I also did a color fill for the background to make it bright white. Whereas I did have a white background, it wasn't perfectly white. So I do a little bit of editing to make it white. I'm going to go through how I do that in a little bit. However, if you don't want all of those steps, one thing that you can do is you can take your photos in particular knowing that they're going to be in square mode and they're going to work for your cover photo. So a few choices that you have for this is the V, where you fold your jeans in half and you take a picture. This is very popular. Another orientation would be the W, where you can see the back hems of the jeans at the same time that you can see the front. Another very popular one. A little bit fancier is you can go with the S curve, where you do a little bit of folding, and this is kind of a more fun way of displaying your jeans. So these are all These all can be done in a square mode, so you don't have to go back and edit any of your photos. If you don't like doing flat lays with your photos, there are two other options for jeans. One is using a hanger to hang up the jeans, and you can take photos that way. The other one is a half mannequin or a leg form. It's not my favorite way to take jeans pics, just because sometimes the backside can look a little weird, and also it takes a really long time to dress these legs. And so if you are interested in looking into the mannequin just because you have the time or you prefer the look of it, I'll have a link in the description of where I got my form on Amazon. I paid about $74. Currently, my form is sitting in the garage. I'm not using it, but it definitely is an option. Once you take your photos, it's now time to decide whether you're going to edit them or not. I edit my photos. I use Photoshop for my day job, so I'm very comfortable with it. And so I will do different things to make it a square photo for my cover shot. And then I will also use a fill to make sure that the background is bright white. It doesn't take me hardly any time at all to do this. And so I pretty much do it on every single photo. I know some people, they only use editing on their cover shot because that is the most important. And then I also know some people that like to use apps on their phone that they're very good at. Two of the apps that I would recommend would be Knockout and Snapseed. Both of these allow you to get a brighter white background with minimal effort. However, if you don't want to edit your photos, that is completely up to you. If you take your photos in a way that you think fits your closet or fits your store, then that can absolutely save you some time. And so it's just whatever your preference is. A lot of resellers don't like listing jeans because they have a lot of measurements. And the best advice I have for you would be to do jeans in bulk, at least 10 at a time, photographing and listing. And to do this, I have a form that I use. I fill this out after I photograph a pair of jeans. I write down the SKU inventory number, the brand, style, wash, size, fabric content, waist, rise, inseam, and leg measurements, any flaws that it might have, and then the weight of the item. Any jeans over a pound have to go priority. Anything under a pound can go first class. So let's talk about the SKU number. This is an arbitrary number that I give to each of my items in order to know where to find it in my inventory. My buyer will never see this number. It just makes shipping a lot easier for me. So I've decided for this group of jeans, I'm going to use J. So J1 is going to be designated for this pair of J. Crew jeans. They are J. Crew, so I write down the brand. Now for the style, I love listing jeans because a lot of the times it'll have the style written directly on the tag. So these are going to be slim, broken in boyfriend jeans. I look at the wash, that's definitely a medium wash. The size, of course, is listed right on them as 25. Then I will go to the fabric content. The reason I do this is you can take a photo of this fabric content, but you will get questions on this just because the amount of stretch in a jean can definitely matter to the person buying them. So just to make things easier so I don't get questions, I will write this down. This was 93% cotton, 6% polyester, and 1% elastane. Now, for the measurements, I always have a fabric measuring tape with me. I think it's really important that you take the measurements because this can be the difference between a sale and no sale. So the waist for these were 14 inches. The rise is going to be 9 inches. The inseam measurement is going to be 27 inches. And the leg opening 6.5 inches. Now I write down if I see any flaws, if there is any pilling or stains, or if there is any wear at the hems, I will write it here. I will also write down if there's any factory distressing or factory fading, because I will put that in the listing as well. After I fill out my form, I will fold the jeans very nicely, and then I will put them in a resealable bag. And I use these bags because if I do have to open them up, I don't have to waste one. But these bags are really great because they protect your jeans as you're shipping them. There's no chance of them getting wet or being exposed to the elements. So anything that I sell online, I always use poly bags to protect my items. Now, since this is going by priority mail, I will use a Postal Service priority mail padded flat rate mailer, which I get free on the USPS website. You just order them online and they will be sent to you right to your door. I pop on my Post-it note with my inventory number and use a clip to make sure it's not going anywhere. And I have my package all ready to ship. Here are jeans J1 through J6 all packaged up and ready to go. And my form that is completely filled out. I can take this, sit on my couch, watch some old Sherlock episodes, and list away. But there is one more thing I need to do before I start listing in bulk, and that is finding out the prices that I'm going to list each of these pieces for. And in order to do that, I go onto the platform where I'm selling, and in this case, that would be eBay. I type in as much detail as I have about the jean. That would be the brand, the style, and the size usually. Now, what you want to do to find comparables is you want to scroll down to find out what has sold. And the reason for this is you can list anything for any price that you want. So somebody could say that these jeans are worth $80, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. So what I did is I went to the sold for this type of jean, and I saw that there was some pretty great comparables here, comps here. There's one that sold for $59.99. However, these were sold on best offer. So I'm going to find out the real price. I'm going to go up to the URL, and I'm going to look for the 12-digit identification number for this item. Copy that, go to flippertools.com, scroll down until you find eBay Best Offer History. Paste the number in, and you will see that the actual selling price of these jeans was $39. Now we're going to go to the lowest price sold, which was $17.99 on Best Offer. I'm going to grab that 12-digit identification number, paste that in, and the actual sale was $14 plus shipping. And so clearly there's a wide range of prices for these jeans, but something else that you have to think about is in the last couple of months, only 5 pair have sold. And so I am going to price relatively on the low side because I want a quick sale and I don't want to be sitting on these jeans for a long time. And so finally, after pricing all of the jeans on my form, I'm able to sit down and list. So I'm going to eBay and I am going to choose listing templates. For the template, you fill it out beforehand with any information that's not going to change from jean to jean. And then you only have to fill out the particulars for the pair that you're listing, and it can save a lot of time. For more information on the templates, I actually did a video a few years ago. I'll link down below. But if you wanted me to do any updating on that, just let me know and I'll do that video. So I am going to choose my jeans template and start listing. First thing I write in is the brand, the gender, women's, jeans. I'm going to then put the style, which is slim, broken in boyfriend, medium wash, stretch because it has elastane, and the size. I'm then going to copy that information for later on in the page. My custom label SKU is J1, and it is gently pre-owned, no stains or puckering, which is my general condition description. But I also want to put that there's factory fading on these jeans, and so you have to see the pictures to see that. I open up my edited photos and I pop those in, and while those are loading, I fill out the rest of the form. Make sure that everything is correct. They have not been modified. They are a size 25. I'm not going to put the rise or the inseam because I put that later on, so I just don't think it's important. And then when I get to the bottom, the description, I paste in what I wrote down for my title. And then I just make it easier to read. I pop in the material. Again, this is to avoid getting any questions from any buyers. The waist size, the rise, the inseam, and the leg opening, all in inches. And again, a lot of this was kind of pre-written because I am using the template. Again, I'm writing the condition because I want to make sure that my buyer knows exactly what condition they're getting. That's very important. I'm going to be selling these for $18.99, which is a little low, but I want to sell them quickly. I see that I'm using padded flat rate. I am charging $4.99, so the buyer's going to pay around $5 in shipping, and I'm going to pick up the extra $2.50. I'm courting controversy here by promoting my listing at 5% because a lot of people aren't necessarily down with this. I like to do it. I don't mind paying 5% to have my post sponsored. I do use volume pricing, so if people buy more than one of my items, they will be getting a deal, and then my item is listed. And that is my advice to you on how to resell jeans online. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and also join me next week where I do a full week of listing jeans on eBay to see which brands tend to sell the best. Thank you so much for visiting, and I will talk to you soon.